it's Kaylee. Mental illness, it's something that's talked less about than politics and religion at the dinner table. But why is it such a taboo topic? This year for the Project for Awesome, I am trying to raise awareness of mental illness, and I did it by making this video.
Mental illness is not as rare as one would think. Did you know that 1 in 5 adults have a mental illness? That's over 40 million Americans. That's more than the population of California. Of this number, approximately 10 million, or 1 in 25, suffer from a serious mental illness, such as schizophrenia, OCD, PTSD, and bipolar disorders. Mental illness also affects children and teens as well. In fact, approximately 20% of those ages 13 to 18, or again 1 in 5, have or will experience a mental illness. 50% of chronic mental illnesses begin by age 14 and 75% by age 24. While there is no miraculous cure for mental illness, it is treatable. Therapy, medication, and support groups are just some to name a few. Note, there is no one treatment that works for everyone. What helps one person might not exactly be the help someone else needs, and that's okay. However, despite the many available treatments, approximately 60% of adults and 50% of youth aged 8 to 15 with mental illnesses did not receive treatment in the past year. This lack of treatment has some major consequences. Serious mental illness costs America roughly $193 billion in lost earnings every year. Approximately 24% of state prisoners have a history of mental illness, and approximately 70% of youth in state and local juvenile justice systems experience mental illness. Approximately 26% of homeless adults living in shelters have a serious mental illness. Over 1/3 of students age 14 and older with a mental health condition drop out of school. And there is one more consequence. Suicide. 90% of those who died by suicide had an underlying mental illness. Suicide is the 10th leading cause of death overall in the U.S. and the 3rd leading cause of death for those ages 10 to 24. So what can we do? Learn more about mental health. Educate yourself and those around you. Be supportive. Recognize that it is an illness and that the people are much more than their diagnosis. Take action. If you or someone you know is struggling, don't be afraid to ask for help. You are not alone and you are not weak for needing help. Break the stigma and stop the silence. Get involved. Take the stigma-free pledge, participate in a walk, and of course, donate to a charity of your choosing. These are only just some of the charities that focus on mental health. Note, if you or someone you know is thinking about committing suicide, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. They are available 24/7 and they want to help you. Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem, and nothing is so bad that the answer is to end your life.
Stop the stigma and start doing something to support mental health. If you can donate, that's great. But if you can't, you can still change the way you and others around you think about mental illness. Don't forget to be awesome, and don't forget you are awesome.